नमस्कार, तुमचं परतून एकदा येवकार प्रुडंट मिडियाच्या गजाली कार्यावळीन. आम्ही उलयत आसात डॉक्टर जयंत नार्लीकरा वांगडा. सर, science is not finding its way so much into literature. You have written a lot of books, and you have written a lot of books in a very different sort of way, which are like storytelling, which have got narratives. In fact, some of them can be turned into plays, films. Is not enough of creative people coming into the science promotion?
Yes, I often say that what I have been doing is drop in the ocean. One needs so many more drops at least. So what happens is that when you write something about science, my major concern is that whatever is being communicated should be appreciated by the person for whom it is intended, and many times the person should not be frightened away by the language or the presentation, thinking that it is beyond him. So one has to give, I give sometimes the example of a tablet which is coated with sweetener outside. Medicinals have tablet. So the inside is really necessary, outside is to protect you from bitterness of that inside. So in the case of science, one is afraid of the mathematics or the reasoning, etc. So if one can communicate the simple, in simple words, the crucial aspects of what you want to tell them, then it is a much more successful way of communicating. So I use this what you call science fiction format, where stories are built around some idea, and that idea is communicated almost unknown to the reader, right, through the story medium. So in that way, I feel science can be brought closer to the common ethos rather than telling them technical things directly.
On Prudent television, we have a program called Antariksh, Up and Away, based on astronomy, and not just astronomy, things related to the entire world. Like the Mayan calendar, this thing, then and young children participate in this. What other such things can be done, say on television and other media, newspapers?
Well, a lot of things can be done. Since you mentioned Antariksh, it struck a chord. I have recently written a Hindi book called Anokha Antariksh, in which a grandfather, which I identify myself with, tells his grandchildren some of the marvels of the cosmos in a very everyday type of language, in which the what you call ajoba, the grandfather, talks to grandchildren. So in Hindi we similarly use that language, and I found that it has done very well in the Hindi region, Hindi belt, and I hope other people will come forward and write. So book writing is one example. The other one is making taking advantage of media. So television, radio, they can contribute.
Right.
Of course, scientists have to come forward and write something suitable which the media can project, but media should be also receptive to these ideas.
Here we have been having for quite a number of years, especially in the last couple of years, a debate on medium of instruction. And one of the arguments for English has been that science can be best taught in English. What do you think? Like there is Konkani as a language here.
My view is that when you are in primary school, you are trying to understand, I mean, you are growing your vocabulary and everything. Science is something that you want to understand fully before you can sort of start using it or something. So one needs to be appreciative of the fact that whatever you are communicating, the facts, the comprehension side is very important. And in my opinion, the comprehension goes well in mother tongue. Now, I was brought up in Banaras, which has the Hindi belt, and at home as well as outside, I was using Hindi as my mother tongue. And I learnt my science, not only science, all my education up to 10th standard was in Hindi medium. English was given as an additional language to be learnt from standard 3 onwards. I found that arrangement worked very well because I picked up English as a language, but my understanding of science was through my mother tongue, and that helped conveying the essence very easily. If it were taught in English, first I would have to worry about translating that English sentence or paragraph into something I can identify with, and that would have taken more time. So it is more natural that way. Having gone up to 10th standard and gone into say 11th, 12th or graduation, there you need to grow into an English medium format, because in science lot of literature is coming in English and you should not miss out on that. But by then you are already mature enough to comprehend in English, and you can do this better. So my philosophy,
to do with even the terminologies. I mean,
yes.
There are people in Konkani who are doing their efforts to create as many words possible.
Yeah.
But the question is, should one create words or use same words in science?
I have a feeling that sometimes we tend to overdo things. Everything has to be in our native language or something. But I feel some words like radio, for example, or bicycle, these are words which have become part of our everyday jargon so much that there is no harm in keeping them as they are rather than translate them. Even if you look at English language, it took words from other languages, including Indian languages, and grew more powerful. So I feel that the language doesn't suffer, but it becomes more powerful in terms of expressive power, and that is what we should aim at.
One thing which I'm sure the viewers would love to know is like, what do you like to do in say a single day or something, or over the week? What are the things besides the work that you do? What else fascinates you, or what you give time for?
Well, it depends on how much time I have, but every morning I like to do some exercise and go for a walk, and I have been fond of walking or hiking also, and that there is a hill where I live just behind it. So on weekend I like to climb that and go up and see from above. That is one of the exercise. I used to play tennis in the morning. Unfortunately, that stopped because there was nobody else willing to come early in the morning to play with me. So I switched to this walking format, or some yogic exercise like Surya Namaskar and so on. I like to use reading as a time pass. So I like more humorous novels. I'm a P.G. Woodhouse fan, Pula Deshpande fan. So that way I find it very easy to spend time reading. And of course writing, if I feel the urge that I should write something, then I write.
On the net, do you keep writing a regular blog or something like that? So
no, I have not gone into that yet, but I'm writing some regular columns in newspapers.
Yes, we are aware.
Marathi or English. Right.
If somebody from Goa would want to, like, get your works into Konkani, what would they have to do?
Well, I just learned today that my story, novel, science fiction novel published by Sahitya Academy has been translated in Konkani and is now available in Goa. So I didn't know this till I had got this email today. So I am certain if more of my work could be translated, it would be worth. I hope it will be worth the effort.
Yes, it surely will be. Anything that you would like to tell, especially the Goan youth and the other community as well, what they could do?
Well, I don't like to say to tell anybody to do something, but what I feel is there is lot of scope for is for the media of various kinds, print media, radio, TV, to help in communicating science to the masses in a informal, relaxed fashion. So if there are people who are able to do this, the media should come forward and give a helping hand.
Yes. Thank you, sir. It was wonderful talking to you. आम्ही उलयताले डॉक्टर जयंत नार्लीकर कडेन. ताणें कितें उलयलां ताच्या बद्दल तुमी आयकलां, तुमी आतां चिंतात आनी पळयत रावात प्रुडंट मिडिया. थँक यू.
Thank you very much.